in the room that I go to every morning to do my breathing exercises. This is my morning breath work routine. I highly recommend that a person finds a place that works for them. And so actually today I want to answer a question from my friend Martin, and he writes that he's been having some problems with being comfortable while breathing. And so it has, he said, mostly to do, he said he's really kind of a bony guy, and he just can't seem to get comfortable enough to do the entire breath, the breathing technique for Wim Hof method is what he's practicing. But I want to go over ways that you can become more comfortable with whatever breath work that you may be doing, and maybe hopefully help you out on it. So first of all, one of the easiest ways to improve your seating situation is, hey, you can get this kind of a sponge type board at most stores, and it's about this thick. They're not expensive if you just get one. So I highly recommend them if you're looking for something that's cheap, that's easy, and that you don't have to break the bank. It's something that's very, very portable as well. Another option that a lot of people use, I get from the meditation world, meditation pillow. This is a, you can just make this if you wanted to, but I bought this. Actually, my wife bought this for me as a present whenever I first started really serious into meditation. And it comes with this particular one. I have a bigger pillow, and then I have a smaller pillow. The big pillow is to sit on. The big pillow is actually for your feet. A lot of people report, and I've had this happen too, where your feet are what gets most uncomfortable early on. Another thing that having this kind of a setup will do for you is it allows you to be a little bit elevated so that you're more comfortable in most cases. Some people find that when you're sitting without a small elevation, when you're sitting like this, that it's difficult to maintain posture, and that it can be difficult in some cases, depending on your joint health. Sometimes people have knee pain and some hip discomfort as a result. Of course, you can still use the basic pillow here, and I personally, I like it this way probably better. Again, my friend Martin, who messaged me and to ask this question, he said he was kind of bony, so maybe this will be the answer for you. Another thing I really want to stress is just take a look at the clothes that I'm wearing. Okay, so I'm wearing a shirt, just a basic t-shirt, and then I'm wearing shorts. Sometimes especially whenever we're in a hurry, sometimes people wear blue jeans and things like that. Again, there's no right and wrong way to do it, but typically blue jeans are going to bunch up, you're not going to get as comfortable, and you're not going to be able to really flex that diaphragm quite as well. I want a lot of give in my shorts. I mean, these shorts are just, they're very, I don't have them tied up or anything like that. I just want to, if I could be naked, that would be probably perfect, right? I'm not going to do that to you, but we don't want things to constrict any part of our body. Another option that you can do is the meditation chair. Now, the meditation chair, this particular one, it's pretty simple, and it's just a little bench that you can build yourself. This was another gift from my wife. She really was happy that I was getting into meditation. I was kind of a nervous, lost soul before I got into meditation and breath work, and so she was very much in favor of me pursuing this. This is, whenever I do meditation just by itself, typically I do use this chair. It's broken a few times, and actually I've fixed it a few times. This is not, if you notice, it's not perfectly aligned anymore, but it'll do the job. And basically on this kind of a chair, you would sit, I'll just do it on the Let's do the side here. On this kind of a chair, you would just sit it like that. You notice how it's kind of rounded, it kind of rocks. And that's specifically because the idea is that you can tilt it to your own comfort level. So whenever I do my meditations, I'll sit down on this chair. I always sit very carefully because again, it has broken on me before. Have nice posture. If you want to lean forward, you can. You can lean back. You have a lot of give. It's a very, you don't feel like you're sitting on a chair when you're sitting on one of these types of benches. And again, you can get good posture and you can go into your meditation. Just to show you on the edge, notice it is built as, it's assumed that you're going to rock a little bit to find the place that you want to be. The next thing I want to bring up is the standard yoga blocks. For a lot of people, they find that sitting in a meditative position, and that would be the typical position, like, you know, cross-legged, is uncomfortable. And let me tell you this, you may not know this, but I have some serious knee injuries that I live with, and I occasionally do have some discomfort in my knees whenever I am in a meditative situation like this. So one thing you can do is you can use the blocks to, it just depends, like I have a torn meniscus right here. So sometimes whenever, you know, just, I don't know, maybe it depends, maybe I ate pizza the night before, maybe there's some kind of, I don't know, maybe I got a really hard workout in or did some jujitsu that was really heavy. You know, sometimes maybe that'll hurt whenever it's at a certain angle. So I use the blocks just to, okay, now I'm fine. Now I'm not putting the strain on my knee anymore. And okay, cool, awesome. Oh, am I feeling it? Do I need a little bit back here? You know, oh, okay, great. I can just sit on it and I've got my posture again. It's really important when you're doing your breath work to maintain posture. What we're trying to do with any kind of breath work, we are trying to make a clear path from the place where the breath comes in and out and your diaphragm. You're trying to make a straight highway. You don't want to go like this. I've taught a lot of breath work, and sometimes you'll have people, they just want to kind of sit like this and do, you know, and it's just not going to work as well as if you say, okay, I need that posture. And so that's typically why we try to sit up like this anytime you're doing breath work. Now, there's also a very common practice, and actually if you come to one of my workshops for any kind of breath work, I'm going to instruct you to lie down while you do your breath work a lot of times. And that's for a couple reasons. One is simply because it's easier to monitor. Let's see here. It's easier to monitor your diaphragm if you are flat on your back. And what I always ask people to do is to put a monitor up here and a monitor down here, and you know, watch the diaphragm go up and down, making sure that you can put your breath in your diaphragm as opposed to just your chest. And a lot of times it's a great way to just monitor yourself. If you just lie down, flat on your back, and just find out, okay, where does my breath go? Am I breathing, am I doing chest breathing? Am I doing belly breathing? Am I doing both? In some cases, that's more appropriate. You want to do, you know, like a belly, chest, head type of a thing, or am I just doing belly, or where is my breath, right? But this is also a perfect position to do just about any kind of breathing technique. I don't know of any breathing technique that lying down on your back, very few at least, that lying down your back would not be appropriate for. Martin, you were specifically wanting to do Wim Hof method breathing. Well, that's fine. Just lie down and go ahead and do your breathing that way. And typically, that's going to be the best way anyway, because you're almost guaranteed to have perfect posture. Sometimes people have this thing about their legs and they're not sure what to do with their legs. There's a few things you can do to actually improve your posture, and one of them is to raise your legs slightly. However, if you do that, you might, well, oh my God, you know, your legs flop out and then it gets kind of weird. There's a few things you could do. Sometimes I instruct a person to go ahead and fold their legs like cross-legged and then do their breathing. This is not always ideal. Technically, if you do more of a, you keep your feet together against the wall. If you keep your feet together, you can do that. That's not always comfortable for everybody. One of the most common things that I tell people to do is get a yoga block or just something. It doesn't have to be a yoga block, maybe a pillow or something like that, and then put it under your knees so that it will brace, it will kind of keep your leg in place. You get a little bit of bend in the knee, not a lot, but you get a little bit of bend in the knee, and you can go about your business breathing. So, oh great, that's awesome, right? I've got a nice, perfect highway between the place where my breath is coming in and out and my entire respiratory system. Every part of it is aligned. We're looking for that alignment. So, those are a few ways you can do that. And hopefully, Martin, that helps you, and hopefully it helps everybody else who might be having some problems. At the end of the day, though, I want to say this. Those tips that I just gave you are probably for about 90% of all people. They're going to fix every problem you have. There is a certain percentage of you who you might have like a bulging disc, or you might have some other kind of injury. And in that case, you have to kind of experiment. What is going to work? Okay? There's one of my clients who has literally had to breathe. He had to go on his side and he had to breathe like this. Now that's not ideal, but he was able to keep his, basically his whole goal was keeping his breath passage completely in alignment, and he was able to do that for the most part. It's not going to be good because you want to be expansive. You want the whole rib cage to be able to expand in both directions, but it's better than not doing any breath work at all. Sometimes we have to choose, I guess, the best possible choice out of all the bad choices we could choose. So that would be a solution. You have to kind of, sometimes you have to kind of just experiment, and that, just means, okay, well, how am I going to go about doing this? What is it going to take? Some people talk about sitting in a chair. I highly discourage that, especially if you're doing, in Martin's case, he's doing Wim Hof method breathing. You could pass out. I've done that before and it's no fun. So actually, oh my God, my wife walked in after I passed out doing Wim Hof method, and I was sitting in a chair. This was like early, like my first month or so of doing Wim Hof method breathing. I wasn't aware of just how powerful it was, and I didn't really give it the respect it deserved, and I passed out. And I'll never forget, I had earbuds on and I was listening to music on my laptop, and the whole laptop came with me. It was awful. So you don't want that to happen to you, so don't sit in a chair unless maybe you could sit in a couch or a love seat, something that's going to allow you to, if you do pass out, hopefully you just kind of go over like that. But the problem is, anytime you're in a position where you're more than just a few inches off the ground, you could really have a problem. Anyway, I know this is a longer video, but I wanted to give you guys some options on your breathing techniques. I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe, ask me further questions if you have them. I hope this helps. And don't forget to go out there and be nice to people.
Oh yeah. Okay. Pretty sweet snow angel.